There is so much I'm interested in hearing you speak about with this film. But one of the first things that comes to mind is the layers of the text because it's a book to a play to a movie to a musical to this.
Yeah,
And
exactly,
I'm
right?
curious, and within it, there's the movies within the movie. I'd love to hear you talk about what all of that means to you, like how you interpret it personally, like the layers of the story
Yeah,
and its relationship to medium, sort of.
yeah. Well, it's interesting. I mean, yes, it has been adapted many times, and you have to answer that question like, why do it again, right? So that is the first meaning it has for me. I love movie musicals, and you know, there aren't a lot of stage musicals that really should be movie musicals. It's a really different medium. But this one, where Melina lives within the imagination of the Hollywood musical, it just screamed out to be adapted, I thought. But then also my love of Puig's novel. And it felt as if he was way ahead of his time, especially with, first of all, making this into a love story. I think that got a little fuzzier in some previous adaptations where it became a little more transactional, and also issues around gender fluidity and all that stuff that were right there being written about in 1976. So all of that became kind of the North Star, Puig. I was sort of like, I want to really live up to what he laid out for us, all those years ago.
Also, just ideas of revolution and like
Yes.
imprisonment, and very prescient, very, very
Uh,
current day stuff. Like,
Sadly, right?
and
Yes.
and you did a beautiful job creating that, taking us into other mediums like Technicolor and stuff.
Right. Yes.
Can you tell us about doing that? How you did it?
Sure. And I like your Technicolor background yourself. You've got the
Thank you.
colors there. The it was, first of all, I didn't have to immerse myself. I live in that world. Minnelli and Cukor and Cirque. What you love about them is that they are telling psychological stories through color and through camera movement and stuff like that. So it was a way to, once you realize when you're watching the movie that the movie within the movie is actually reflecting what's happening between those two prisoners, I think then I hope you start to say, oh, wow, there are levels happening there that underneath what you might consider to be the fluff and the silliness,
Yeah.
and maybe somebody might take that and then go revisit, a Minnelli movie and say, oh, that's what's happening there. So it felt
Yeah.
a little bit, Valentine in the novel, he lives in the world of theoretical. He's a teacher.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of channeling Valentine a little to think of the movie just a tiny bit as a lesson in the glories of mid-century Hollywood filmmaking.
I love that answer. That's wonderful. I want to ask about The Greatest Showman really quick.
Oh yeah.
It's great, very successful. Was Hugh Jackman in your mind in the Barnum role, and how did you feel about his performance ultimately? And when you were crafting it, who were you
Right.
thinking of, or was he always kind of there?
I have to be very clear. I came on deep into that project. Jenny Bix is the one who started it. It all happened when Larry Mark and Hugh Jackman and I produced the Oscars, and Jenny was one of the writers, and they started talking about that. Larry with Hugh. So he was always in Larry's mind and then Jenny's mind, and then deep into the process, I came on to do a rewrite, and I had more to do with creating like the Zendaya character and things like that. So I can't take very much credit for that. That is Jenny. So that's my short and truthful answer.
Thank you so much. I
Thank
got to wrap, but thank you for your time, and this was
thank
really
you.
wonderful.